Hey, this is Russ. Yep, back out on the road. Well, technically I never really left the road. If you watched yesterday's video, this is the same ride. All I did is I went back, got rid of my sweatshirt, changed bikes. Yeah, it's really windy right now. It's really, really windy. Can't even hear myself talk. Yeah, when I tell you guys that, it's true. I really cannot hear myself speaking. But I know that the microphone picks it up. Tends to get rid of some of the wind noise, but not all of it. So where are we heading right now? Well, I decided I was going to go back onto the same path we did when I was riding the Magicycle, when I did the test report. And the reason is I want to see how this bike does going over those inclines or hills, whatever you want to call it. My wife said it really should be considered inclines. They're not technically hills. Well, actually, that's true. Those aren't actually really hills per se. I think we all just say hills, but it's just an incline. But that incline, I have a hard time getting over the top of it with the Rad Rover. And when I did the test with the Magicycle, it was no problem. Okay, now I did stop a little bit there. I mentioned too in the last one, I've been talking so much about stopping because I am trying my best to remember to hit stop. Last year I didn't because of my bad leg and knee strength. It gave me a chance to fall over if I stopped. I'm trying. I'm putting it in my brain, trying to stop more often. So yeah, this is the same day that I rode from yesterday's video. I just stopped off and got rid of my sweatshirt because it's starting to get warmer now. Changed my bike to a different bike. And originally I was going to go over to the Prospect Heights Trail, which I know is all new for a lot of you guys. There's actually more new subscribers watching Russ's right now than there are guys that have been with me the entire 3 years. Yeah, so I know a lot of these things are new to you guys. It's probably owed for the rest of you other guys, but we're going to do certain paths quite a bit because these are paths that are closer for me. And on certain days, I'm not going to go to major distances. I'm going to kind of stick around areas where I can get to the path, get back home. Bad weather days, I tend to stick around a little bit longer, but. Morning. All right. We'll get through here first. So, have I noticed any differences? Yeah, I've definitely noticed a difference between the two bikes. Hi. Just having ridden that Magicycle just a few moments ago before I switched bikes to this one, that Magicycle has a lot more pep, I tell you. It moves so much faster. I mean, if you're into speed, you're going to want that bike. But if you're into hill climbing ability or incline climbing ability, you're going to want that bike. Here's a couple things too that I've noticed. Obviously, the price is a big difference between that bike and a current Rad Rover. I mean, they don't have the Rad Rover 5 anymore. All they have is the Rad Rover 6, which is a $1,999 bike. Now, if you bought that bike during their, their 15th year anniversary or whatever their anniversary was, they were selling that bike for $1,699. That's a good deal. That brought it down to the price of this bike, the Rad Rover 5, when I bought it last year. So why didn't I jump on that? Didn't need to. Didn't need to, really. I didn't see any real advantage to do it. Well, okay, You get the hydraulic brakes, that would have been an advantage, I guess. You get the integrated battery, semi-integrated battery. I guess some people would consider that an advantage, but as you may know from another video I did, I don't consider that an advantage. I consider it a disadvantage because I use those triangle batteries, right? And so that semi-integrated battery would kind of get in my way. And even if the triangle batteries fit in there, and I was able to take out the integrated battery, then I've got like a hole where the battery would have went. I don't want that. So on the long run, the Red Rover 5 fits me better based on how I ride and how much distance I plan to go. So, and on top of that too, right now, I have the Magicycle to ride. The only issue with the Magicycle that I have right now is I don't have multiple batteries for it. I only have the one battery, so I cannot go distance with it. And I really don't feel like modifying that bike, cutting into the wiring to accommodate the triangle batteries. I really don't want to do that. So I won't be modifying the Magicycle in that way. At best case, I would get a second Magicycle battery, strap it to the rear rack, and take that with me. Even so, it would not bring me as far as this bike would bring me, because this bike has 20 amp hour batteries. I bring two of them, I got 40. If I had two Magicycle batteries, those are 15 amp hour batteries. I bring two of those, I only have 30. So as far as sheer distance, I actually go farther with this bike than I would with the other bikes. And that's only because of the change in the batteries. If I kept the rad battery, then yeah, you only got 14 amp hours. If you bought a second rad battery, then you only got 28 amp hours. Be the same thing as like, riding the Magicycle at 30 amp hours with two batteries. But here's another thing that I noticed too. There's a lot more power and pep on the Magicycle battery, on Magicycle bike, and that comes at a cost. And none of this stuff comes free, right? Comes at a cost. It eats up more battery to get you faster because you need more wattage to do it. So I've noticed that that my range is a little bit less with the Magicycle than if I was riding with a rad. And so why is that? Well, 750 watts of continuous power availability on the Magicycle, which peaks out over 900 watts of power. Now, the reason we say over and we don't really know is because the display screen on the Magicycle only shows you up to 900. But I'll guarantee you that thing is going way past that 900 mark. It's just that the display doesn't go past 900. All right. Now, on this bike, the Red Rover 5, they claim 750, but many of us actually feel that there's actually really only a 500 watt motor in here that peaks at 750. The Magicycle starts at 750 and peaks a lot higher. So that comes at a cost. It's going to eat up more battery power. So which means your range is going to drop as well. I do notice a big difference in peppiness, where I was just riding the Magicycle on yesterday's ride, which was of course the same day for me. Just a moment ago, I'm moving a lot quicker. All right, this car's here, but they're letting me go, so I'm gonna go. I did a semi-stop. So there's using more wattage means you're using more power. Using more power means you have less power to use, which means eventually you'll have less range. But a lot of us don't ride the way I do. All right, this is the area we're going to have to pedal up. So I'm moving me to pedal assist level 5 now. I'm pedaling hard. We're at 21 miles an hour. I remember the Magicycle while I was pedaling to get over the top of this hill. I was able to go to about 16. I am dropping I am dropping. You can see how slow we're getting here. And I'm pedaling hard right now. 10 miles an hour. All right, we're over the top. So we did 16 miles an hour over the top with the Magicycle, with movement of my legs, but not hard pedaling, to get me to 10 miles an hour here. I had to do hard pedaling on the Rad Rover 5. So I'm a little bit more out of breath. I'm coasting right now. All right, here's another hill. Let's go over the top of this. I'm still on 5. So let's go up with it. Again, I have to pedal a little bit harder to get over it, but this is not a major hill. That other one was the big hill, or the big incline, I should say. So yeah, you paid a price in battery usage, but you got so much power to get over. Now, if you live in an area that has a lot of these types of inclines, the Magicycle is the way to go. There's no doubt in my mind. If you live on relatively flat grounds, then you'd probably get a little more range out of the Rad compared to the Magicycle. Yeah. Somebody asked me too, what happened to your business relationship with Rad that you're now recommending Magicycle? I had no business relationship with Rad. I didn't. Hello. I had no business relationship with Rad. What Rad gives you is that when you purchase a bike, they give you a referral code that you can give to your friends. Everyone can do that. You know, when you buy a bike, you can give a referral code to a friend if you wanted to. So then your friend saves $50, and then you get $50 for referring them. That's their referral program. So what I did as a YouTuber, of course, is I gave you the code, my code, after I bought this bike, I purchased this bike. And many of you use that code to buy your own bikes and save $50, but in an exchange, Rad gives me $50. So is that a business relationship? No, they give that to everybody, not just me. They give that to everyone. But many of my subscribers and viewers used my link because, first off, they want to save $50, and secondly, they want to support the channel because they know that when they do that, they give me $50 to do it, and that makes me able to ride more distance and stuff. Okay, this guy's letting me go. Thank you. So yeah, I had no business relationship with Rad other than the fact that I bought a Rad bike, and I got the same privileges as everybody else did at that time. So now a Magicycle, it's a different story. Magicycle gave me their bike in exchange for reviewing the bike. So in other words, I'm technically paid with that bike to do a review. Now they never tell me what I can or cannot say. If I don't like something, I'm welcome to say that I don't like it. If I like something, I can tell you that I like it. So I actually asked them too. I said, is there anything that I have to do for this? And they said no. They said, we don't tell the YouTubers what they need to say. It's up to them. Which was a good thing to hear, because if I didn't like it, I would have told you, right? And there was one thing that I didn't like too much. I said that the pedal assist levels were a little bit too hefty to start. I mean, that's a good thing, I suppose. You've got the power and they're giving it to you, but I know that a lot of my subscribers and viewers are over 65, let's just say that, because most of you are over 65, some of you are over 55, but I mean over 90% of you guys are 55 and over. So some of you guys like going real fast. I mean, for me, you know, I like going kind of fast. But on the other hand, not all of you do. Some of you guys actually prefer to be, it's okay. Some of you guys actually prefer to go a little bit slower to be safer. So that's why I recommended that we drop those pedal assist levels down a little bit. And it's really easy to do. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. That'll be my second official Magicycle video for them. I'm going to show you how to make those modifications. Now, going up this hill is kind of tough. All right, so we're doing the same thing we did with the Magicycle one. Now we're doing it on the Rad Rover. Let's see how well we do going over the top. I am on pedal assist level 5. I'm averaging 19 miles an hour right now. I think we can get to an area that's a little bit higher. Just kind of working my way through that. Stay with me, we're still going up there. Now this area goes up, but it wasn't as bad as that other one right after the bridge. That one was always the worst. All right, we went through it fairly well. But I know it goes up higher again here. All right, here we go. We're at 20 miles an hour. We're going up the hill. I just wanted to test this again with this Rad Rover to see is there any difference. I'm pedaling about the same as I would have with the Magicycle. I'm not pedaling extremely hard, but I'm pedaling. We're dropping 16, 15, 14, 13, 13.4. All right, I'm gonna call it at about 13.2, 13.3 miles an hour. When we did it with the Magicycle, what was I at? Around 18 miles an hour? So we dropped 5 miles an hour. Yeah. So yeah, the Rad is not as capable in going over hills. And I think that's because the torque is not there. The wattage is not there. I mean, it peaks out at 750. And you can see here, let me do full throttle. You'll see the peak over here is 742, 46, something like that. That's the maximum this thing can go. The Magicycle shows 900 plus. I wouldn't doubt it's over 1,000. I wouldn't doubt it. Plus 86 Newton meters of torque. I don't know what the torque is on this. I think it's something like 80, something like that. I'm not sure. So you got more torque out of the other bike. But like I said, it does come at a cost. It's going to eat a little bit into your battery. So maybe, let me cross this first. Crossing is harder here with this bike because you can't get up that little incline to cross, and the Magicycle just flies over the top of it. You can get through it real easy. Yeah, the cost is you're going to lose some mileage on the Magicycle, but man, your life is a lot easier on it. I'll tell you that. I would say this: if you're, and I'm a heavy guy, all right. People always want to know how heavy I am, and I've never really said. But let's put it this way: I'm at least 250. Barely a little over 250. All right. So there you have it. Now you know how heavy I am. I'm a big guy. I'm not lightweight. So that eats into my battery power as well. The wind will eat into your battery power. We're heading up against a heavy wind. I mean, it's so heavy I can't even hear myself talk. I literally cannot hear a single word I'm saying right now. Microphone picks me up though, so I don't worry about it. Everything plays a factor. Everything eats into your power, eats into your range, okay? And this is why when you make your decisions on which bikes you're gonna buy, you gotta look at how are you planning to ride. Are you riding flat ground? Are you riding inclines? This is an incline, just getting up over here. Are you are you looking for speed as well? These are some factors you got to look into. Oh, let me answer another question. Somebody asked me, can you get your leg over the mid-step through where you can just step through it? Yeah, you can, but you got to lift your leg way higher. I mean, I only hit that bell because people said I don't hit the bell. But she's so far over, it didn't make any difference. But yeah, you'd have to lift your leg way higher to do it. what I tend to do is I still treat it like a step over bike. I swing my leg over. I swing my leg over rather than stepping through. Here's what I like about the mid-step bike. I have more clearance. When I hop off of the bike, I know that I'm clearing that area. I don't have to worry about getting hit by the crotch area. Let's put it that way, because I'm not gonna. I got clearance because of that mid-step area. So in that regards, I like it. So let's say you're looking at buying that Magicycle. You're thinking, should I buy the mid-step then, or should I buy the step-over version? It's cheaper right now with the step-over version. I don't know how much cheaper, but it is slightly cheaper. Should I save the few dollars? Well, if your inseam, I would say if your inseam is like, sorry, so much wind here. If your inseam is such that you might hit the top bar, the top tube, you're gonna want the mid-step, because you're not gonna hit it. You can hop off the bike and you're not gonna hit the top. To me, that's worth the extra money difference. I mean, if they're selling the bike a little bit more than the step-over version, to me that's worth the money difference. What I kind of like about the mid-step too, it kind of protects the battery because it kind of surrounds the battery more. So yeah, it's a personal decision. If you prefer the look of the step-over, then that's fine. If you think one day you're going to add a triangle battery and get rid of the Magicycle battery, you might want the step-over version. I don't see the real advantage of doing that, quite frankly, because it already is a 52-volt battery. The only difference the triangle battery would give you is it would give you a little bit more range based on the fact that you might be able to get 20 amp hours instead of the 15 amp hours on the existing battery. But yeah, other than that, there's a lot of advantages to the mid-step, but the disadvantage is that it is not truly a regular lower step. If it was a lower step, then you can of course put your leg right through the bike a lot easier. This one, if you wanted to do it, you could do it, you can step through it, but you'd have to tilt the bike a little bit, tilt it on an angle and then step through it. That works. You could not do that with this Rad Rover because it's a regular high step. So yeah, you gotta think about how are you planning to use your bike, how you plan to ride it before you make these decisions, the purchase decisions. So yeah, going back to the business relationship of Rad. Yeah, I had no business relationship with Rad. I only recommended it because that's what I knew. That's what I really liked at the time. I like this bike. It's not like I don't. I still enjoy riding it. And between the two, like I said, they feel almost identical when I ride, other than the fact that this one moves a little bit slower. The other one moves a lot faster. I mean, even the front baskets look very similar. They have a very similar look that way. I did put a mirror on the Magicycle. If you look back at that video, I don't know if I mentioned it. The mirrors were provided to me by Magicycle. They actually give you two when you buy it. They give you a left and a right, but there's no space to put the right one. I mean, it's similar to this, right? You got your derailleur in the way. You got your throttle in the way. So where are you gonna put the the thing? Here you have space. This mirror. Sorry, I'm going all over the place here. This mirror is made by Hafni. It's a different company. Magicycle has their own mirrors that they sell. but it's kind of similar. It's got like this thin, so you've got space because all you have is the pedal assist controller. So there's space on the handlebar to add an external mirror. So they gave me two. I only put on one. I only put the left mirror on. Really, all you really need is the left, but you know, if you like to see who's on your right-hand side. But you know, in the United States, we ride on the right-hand side of the lane. So really, we want to see who's going to try to pass us, and the guys that pass us are going to pass us on the left. So we need that left mirror. I always wondered, you know, what happens to the guys that, you know, like in the UK, you guys, you ride on the other side of the thing. You ride on the left-hand side, so you really want to see the people on the right. Where do you put your mirrors? Answer me that too. If you're from the UK, let me know. How do you attach your mirrors when you want the mirror on the right side? How do you guys go with the bar end type mirrors, or what? I would tend to think you'd have to do the bar end type mirrors then. Well, a couple of reasons I don't do a bar end mirror is because if I fall, I don't want it smashing my mirror. But it also makes the thing wider, and so to get through a doorway, I can get my bike through the doorway with these handlebars. If it was extended further because of the mirror, I wouldn't be able to get through the doorway. I mean, you could rotate it in, I guess, but then you're always rotating the mirrors. I don't have to do that with the mirror like this that I have up here. And the Magicycle mirror is kind of similar to this. It kind of extends out like this. All right, I think this ride has kind of answered my questions as to what the changes are. That the Rad Rover definitely does not have the same get up and go as the Magicycle. Getting over the hills is a lot tougher. I don't move as fast on it. I go faster on the Magicycle, quicker in the sense of instantaneous. Let's say that makes a better word. Not everyone's interested in that, but if you are, yeah, the other one has a little bit more ability for that. So which of these two bikes would I recommend now? All right, I'm sure you're wondering about that. I'd recommend them both, quite frankly. There's pros and cons. Like I said, if you want more distance, yeah, maybe the Rad Rover because it doesn't have as big of a motor. Yeah. Let me talk about 500 watt motors too, because I know there's a number of bikes that have 500 watts that peak out at 750. Because this bike technically, they call it 750, but you know, a lot of us who ride these bikes feel that they're really 750 peak with 500 watt motors in there. The main advantage is I think you get more range this way. So if you're looking for more range, yeah, this might be the better bike to buy. If you're looking for more power to go over hills, faster startup to get over things, get moving quicker, the Magicycle would be the obvious answer at that point. They both kind of ride the same. You know, if you take the Magicycle and bring those pedal assist levels down, on your left, So if you're looking for a little more pep out of a bike, the Magicycle will be the way to go. They ride the same, they feel the same in that sense of, you know, the feel different when you're on the bikes. They're almost identical. They literally feel almost exactly the same in terms of riding. Oh, one more thing too. I like the saddle of the Magicycle. I think if you didn't want to change out the saddle, you know, a lot of us change the saddles out because the stock saddles most these bike companies give you is not that great, quite frankly. I changed out the Rad saddle right away. I have a Bikeroo saddle with the elastomers, which is like rubber spring, not the actual springs. I did change out recently the saddle on the Magicycle, and I did that for a reason. Even though I like the Magicycle saddle, I wanted it to feel the same as this Rad. And I did that so that when I do some comparisons with it, I can't blame one thing over the other, in the sense that, it feels like it doesn't ride as well because maybe the saddle doesn't feel the same. Well, I'm now sitting on the same type of saddle on both bikes, and I can tell you, they feel the same. They kind of ride exactly the same. All right, just one has more pep, the other one doesn't. This Rad gives me more distance with their stock battery. That would have been than with the Magicycle, and that's only because of the issue of power, right? Wattage usage. I think it's a good trade-off though. If you don't go really that far of a distance on a typical ride, I'm talking if you don't ride like 35 miles, 40 miles, or whatever, big distances, I don't even think you can do that on the Rad. I think when I had the Rad batteries before, I was only able to get about 26 miles of distance. I haven't finalized the distance range of the Magicycle, so I don't know the actual, but I have ridden at least 23 so far, but I didn't exhaust it yet at 23. So maybe you lose 2 miles. Let's just say you lose about 2 miles or so because of that extra wattage usage, 2 or 3 miles at most. If you don't ride past 22 miles or whatever, it probably won't make any difference that you're using up more wattage. And if you're lighter weight than I am, you're going to get a lot more range than that. We're talking, I mean, as a reviewer, I'm a good reviewer. Here's why. I'm a heavy guy, all right? I'm an older guy. I'm an older, heavier guy. A lot of these other reviews that you see, these guys are younger, they're lighter in weight. Many of us at this age, not all of us are at that ability anymore. Some of us are, okay, you guys are lucky. But a lot of us have gained weight. We don't have as much abilities sometimes. We're a different set of riders. I think these bikes need to be reviewed by guys like me, so that you can kind of ask yourself, are you kind of like me? I mean, are you a little bit heavier? Are you... I gotta make sure I'm safe here when I cross. I know this guy wants to turn right, but I don't want to go until I know that the other guys are moving. All right, they are moving, so I am crossing. Yeah, you gotta always make sure that you're safe before you cross the streets. So yeah, I'm a little bit kind of a different type of reviewer. I'm an older guy with a heavier guy riding these bikes, and if the bikes can handle me, they can handle you. Yeah, the Magicycle can handle 350 pounds. I think this one handles 275. I think on the instruction manual of the Magicycle, it showed 275. They must have upped it, because now on the website, they're showing they really can handle 350. That makes a difference for a guy like me. Okay, I'm not that big, but I'm saying if it can handle 350, and if I weigh into 250 range, give or take, okay, it's a little higher than 250, but I'm in that general range, then I could consider a bike like this. If the bike cannot handle my weight, I can't buy a bike like that. Let me answer another question for you guys too. Some people have asked in the past. It's like they said, well, why are you riding a fat tire bike? Why are you riding a fat tire bike when you're only riding on paved paths? I'm a heavy guy. We've covered this already. I'm a heavy guy. I look actually better on a fat tire bike for my big fat body. It fits me better. I look a little bit more ridiculous on a thinner tire bike, but yeah, I would try one though. I would try one. We may see that I will be trying one, but I think as my long-term riding, a lot of times these fat tire bikes work better for me. So that's the answer to that. All right, we're heading back now. So it kind of satisfied my curiosity. I had to get back on the bike. Like I said, this is the second ride on the same day. All I did is I got rid of my sweatshirt because it's warming up now, and changed the bikes. And I will tell you that it doesn't move as fast as the Magicycle. Although many of you will look at my speedometer and say, well, you're doing 20 miles an hour on there. That's pretty fast. Yeah, that is plenty fast for most people. You know, the paths are, I think, this one doesn't actually show a speed limit. I think most of these paths are probably 15 miles an hour limits. Yeah, I kind of break that a little bit. I push the limit a little bit. I push it to about 20. But seldom do I go over that. Yeah, I mean, occasionally you might accidentally go over it, but I don't purposely go over it. All right, so this hill that we came up, now we're going to go down it. So going down, you have to be a little more careful. So I'm usually riding the brakes. Here. Now the other gentleman that we just passed, he's struggling to get up the thing. He's got a regular bike. He doesn't have an e-bike. You could see in his face that he was struggling to get up over this hill. Coming down this thing, yeah, you got to ride the brakes. You don't want to go too fast down here, because then you can't stop, and if there's somebody that's around the corner, that's not good. All right. Back up a little incline here. Yeah, it's kind of a struggle. You got wind resistance happening here. You've got incline happening. This stop sign here is for parking lot, and if there's no cars around, doing a full stop actually makes no sense to me. All right, so there you have it. That's my comparison between the Magicycle and the Rad. I think that pretty much tells you what you need to know. So yeah, I would recommend both of them. It really depends on what you want. I will be riding both of them. I don't intend to get rid of this bike, and neither do I intend of getting rid of the Magicycle bike. Different bikes for different purposes of what you're going to use it for. Yeah. Now, I know that not everybody can do that. Many of us struggle just to get the first bike. I know I did. It was tough for me to get this first bike. Let me tell you. I tried to tell my wife I wanted to get an e-bike to help rehab my knee, because if you don't know, I had a knee replacement done. It took me 2 years to get over it. Watch some of my knee videos too if you got a knee problem. I mean, I spent 2 years chronicling my knee replacement. I did 239 videos. All right, over here too, it's just kind of like a side street for residential. There's nobody coming through there, so stopping through there seems kind of ridiculous as well, but I slowed down at least. So yeah, watch some of the knee replacement stuff if you've got that problem. You can see how knee replacement could be good for you, but it could also take you several more months than they tell you to get over it. It took me almost 2 years. So I asked my wife if I could get an e-bike to kind of keep my knees moving, and she says, well, you got a recumbent exercise bike. You don't barely use that enough. But I wanted to get outside. I mean, I like biking. I always did. But I knew that I couldn't do it anymore, not with my bad knee. And she finally said okay to it. And so I bought the e-bike. And that's really changed my life, because it fixed up my knee. I did 2,600 miles last year between April and December. My e-bike channel, my knee replacement channel turned into an e-bike channel. And just recently, so many of you guys have come on board. I'm kind of shocked. Yeah, I'm really shocked. But I'm glad too. It just shows that I've progressed. I've gotten past just knee replacement. I'm now actually doing a channel that is more mainstream for people to consider. And so more of you have come on board. I appreciate that, you guys watching me. So yeah, a lot of good things have happened. I'm now getting people asking me to review their bikes from the companies. I mean, how could I beat that? So I've been very lucky. And some have told me that, you know, all of the work that you did with your knee and all of the support that you've given to a lot of people, that's now coming back and paying off for you. I'm happy that that's happened. And it's now going to give me more ability to do stuff that I really like doing, this e-bike stuff I really like. So I'm glad. I'm very happy for it. All right, let's go down this other direction. I don't know if I took you guys down this way before. Maybe I did. And I've done so many videos I can't remember, and I know that many of you are new. You may not have seen this area either. But yeah, I'm very happy. All right, let's ride a little bit here, and then I'll let you go after we ride through this area. This is a kind of a new area for you to see. Let me angle the camera a little bit here to the left. Can you guys see that? That's a reservoir. I don't know what it's for. I think it's just, it could be runoff water, I think. I'm not really sure. But you know, it looks like a nice little lake because of that. I've done photos of my bikes with that in the background. Right now it doesn't look as good. The grass isn't as green to take that photo, and then now we got all the dandelions have come up. So that's not as nice. Well, some people like the look of it, but you know, to me it's still a weed. We try to get rid of that. Thank you. Yeah, hit him with the bell. Let them know you're there. Now in that case, it's definitely, you have to hit him with the bell, because they're taking over both left and right side. You cannot pass. Oh, somebody did ask me, have I ever considered going off the path and just onto the grass to pass people who are on the path? No, I don't do that. If you look at these paths, if you look, it kind of sticks up higher than the grass. Yeah, let's go left. It sticks up higher than the grass a lot of times. So if you jumped off of it and tried to get back on, it's like trying to ride over the top of a curb, a small curb almost. Not as safe for me. I mean, so yeah, we don't do that. And especially here in Illinois, like I said, most people who walk these paths know that they're sharing it with bikes. I mean, we call them bike paths. we don't call them walking paths, all right? More often than not, we call them bike paths. And so they have to share the road with us just like we share it with them. So your best bet is just to hit them with the bell or say on your left and then move past them to the left. But yeah, you got to go cautiously. I'm not a dangerous rider. Some people make it sound like I am, but I'm not. I'm very safety conscious. And for those who don't know my background, if you're totally brand new, yeah, I'm former law enforcement. I was never a police officer, but I did work in the support area. I was an evidence technician. So I collected crime scene evidence, processed it, fingerprints, took photos at crime scenes, went to all the different various crime scenes, which would be homicides, robberies, burglaries, rape scenes, all of that stuff. I've done all that stuff. Okay, they kind of gotten this in my way. I'm not gonna go over it that fast. I'm just gonna hobble over it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I know what the law is supposed to be. I've worked in law enforcement before. Now a lot of them will probably come back with comments saying, well, if you've done that, you should know better. You can't win on the internet, okay? No matter what. There's always someone who's saying you're doing it wrong. But no, I'm very safety conscious. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you go through a stop sign that you shouldn't. But I never go through a stop light. No way. But I look all over the place. I make sure people are not around when I do pass through a stop sign. So, yeah, I know I've been talking about that so much. You guys are probably sick of hearing it. All right, don't make a comment about that, okay? Because I'm not going to answer that. But yeah, it kind of irks me when I see those comments. But these are all brand new people. They don't know my situation, so I understand. All they see is the one video and make a decision on you. So, all right, we've done enough. The wind is hitting me. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll do more of these rides. I am a channel more about getting out and riding the bike. And then when I can't ride the bike, we're in the studio, we're talking. So, a little of everything. Talk to you guys next time.